Let's go live now to senior reporter Tim Thornton, who's with a former England striker.
Yeah, good morning to you, Tom. Yeah, a flat feeling for all England fans this morning after more disappointment last night. Alan Smith is alongside me. Alan, it was a decent performance from England, so will the players be waking up this morning full of regret, feeling it's a missed opportunity, or will they feel they gave it their best and just fell short?
Well, all of those things, really. They did give it the best. They did play well. They certainly didn't freeze on the big stage, but it was a missed opportunity. And obviously, the missed penalty plays a huge part in that. So, you know, regret all round. You know, I get such a knot in my stomach watching England. It gets tighter and tighter as the years go on. Such a shame. But listen, France are a very good team. But it's obviously not all on Harry Kane. And you can say what you want about the referee's performance, this, that and the other. If you miss a penalty to make it 2-2, you're up against it, aren't you? How
will he be feeling, the England captain? Because he'd scored the first penalty, and then he'd equal the goal-scoring record for England. It was an opportunity to level the scores and to break the record. Will all those things have built up inside his head, especially given the delay before the kick was taken? Yeah,
he's only human. All those things, you know, the French lads tried to delay it, and you would do. You know, it's gamesmanship under those circumstances. And as experienced and as composed as he is, he's only human, and it can affect him. Obviously, with the record as well. Again, you want to shut that out, really. You want to just think of the job in hand and getting that goal, getting that equaliser. But, yeah, that might have been in the back of his mind. I mean, he's such a reliable penalty taker normally, isn't he? And I don't know, only he can tell you what happened. I thought he was going to try and lift it just that little bit higher into the top left, and in the end it's gone straighter and obviously higher. You just feel for him because he doesn't deserve that. He's such a fantastic footballer. And for that to happen to him, and it'll stay with him. It's hard to shake that off, no matter how long he plays the game. That moment will stay with him for the rest of his career.
Gareth Southgate will take some time now before thinking about what he does next, whether he stays on for the Euros. How do you reflect on his tournament, and what do you think he'll do? He's
done everything he could. I think he's made big decisions at key moments, and those decisions have been good ones. You know, you think of Rashford and then leaving Rashford out, Foden coming into it. You know, it's all. I mean, he's a brilliant ambassador for our country. Never mind about our football team. Only he can tell us what he wants to do going forward. You know, the tide turned, didn't it, over the summer with the Nations League defeats, and he might feel that he's had a great run. I mean, I hope he doesn't. From a personal, human point of view, you think, well, maybe now is the time to go away for a year, enjoy life, and come back into a Premier League club, because I think he'd get some nice offers. I don't want it to turn the other way with him. And people almost to grow a little bored. Oh, it's Southgate, you know, and take for granted what he's achieved and the level now that we're pitching our team at latter stages of competitions. I hope he stays, I do, but from a human perspective, I could understand if he didn't.
Was this another positive step for England? We've talked a lot over the last few years about step-by-step progressions. Even though England have gone out at the quarter-finals, is this team still moving forward and still developing?
Oh, definitely, yeah. You look at the ages of some of those boys, you know, Jude Bellingham, still a teenager, isn't he? And Saka and Foden, Declan Rice, you know, this is the heartbeat of the team going forward that's just going to get better. And as I mentioned there, Tim, you know, lads that have got a confidence at this level, they know they're good players, they know that opponents think they're good players, you know, the respect that they give them. I mean, Saka, whatever they tried, Hernandez was twisted in knots with him. He just couldn't deal with Saka. And that was one thing, you know, bringing him off for Sterling, I thought, oh, he must be carrying a knock. Although he was tiring a little bit, I thought that he was still causing a lot of problems. But yeah, we've got a great clutch of players. The envy of the world. Many people would love to have that group of lads at that stage in their careers, early 20s.
Do you think this team can go again in the Euros and the World Cup? Will the likes of Harry Kane, for example, still be around in 4 years' time at the World Cup?
I think so. What is he, 29? And his game now, it's built on intelligence. You know, he looks after himself as well as any footballer in the world in terms of what he eats, how he rests. So he should still be there, yeah, and those younger lads coming through. So the Euros are a big target for us. Yeah, they are, and going forward for Canada, the US and Mexico.
Who's been your England player of the tournament?
I think Jude Bellingham. I mean, at the start of it, I thought, oh, he's going to be a star of this tournament, and he was. I think his desire as much as anything. But yeah, he's an all-round. You know, we talk about midfielders these days, holding, attacking. He's just old school. He does the lot. He's a brilliant player. But we've had a few to go with him, haven't we? With Saka and the like. And I was so pleased for Harry Maguire. I thought he was excellent last night. John Stones has had an almost flawless tournament in the way that he did in the Euros. So many question marks hanging over our defence, and in the end they didn't come to pass. So a lot of good performances last night.
Overall, the tournament, England knocked out by France. So France, the team everyone has to beat now.
Well, I mean, to play Morocco in the semis, you couldn't ask for much more, as well as they've done. I commentated on the Portugal-Morocco game yesterday, and they hung on for their dear lives. But, I mean, they're falling apart. Roman Saiz, the ex-Wolves defender, he had to come off. I don't think he'll make it. I think they've probably reached their zenith. They've given it all they can. I wouldn't be at all surprised now to see France beat them about 5-0 in the semis. As to who's going to join them is another matter entirely, but it's a great chance for France to retain that World Cup now.
OK, thank you for your time this morning. It's hard to discuss the World Cup semi-final and the final, knowing that England are not in it, but certainly the players did themselves proud last night, even if it's France who progressed through to the semis.
Tim, Alan, thank you.